Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I am so excited to have this young lady on the show. This is Lisa Winkelbauer. She is with Leadership Orlando. You can see that wonderful URL scrolling across your screen there. We're going to talk about Leadership Orlando. Get connected. We're going to learn all about it. Y'all are always asking me for ways to get involved, what's going on in our community. And so Lisa's going to give us a 411 on that and give us some pointers on how to accomplish our goal of getting more involved in our community. Welcome, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
I'm excited to have you. Look, she has books in the background, y'all. She reads. This is half the battle, I feel like.
Lots of leadership books.
Lots of leadership books. All right, so let's get the origin story. I told you that before we went live. That the audience loves an origin story. They want to know about you. They kind of want to know because everybody's journey is different. And it's not like I said earlier, you don't grow up and go, I want to be part of leadership at 4 years old. You have a big journey there. So share a little bit of that with us, if you wouldn't mind.
So I was born in Orlando. So one of those rare native, born at what was Orange Memorial Hospital, what is now Orlando Health. Down on Orange Avenue. So born there, but we lived in Titusville. So my mom drove over from Titusville to have me in Orlando. So I started out living in Brevard County. Then when Disney opened, of course, we moved over to Osceola County so that my family could go to work there. And I grew up in Osceola County, elementary school, middle school, high school.
What high school did you graduate from?
Osceola High School, Cowboys with a K.
So tell me about, my wife was born here too. She's never moved. She's never left Orlando, just to travel, but never residence wise. What was it like Osceola County, and why did you begin to go on the path that you're under leadership? Did you grow up in a household where community service was important or leadership, everybody was involved? How did that kind of manifest itself in your life?
Well, it's funny enough. So growing up in Kissimmee at that time, I always say this really dates how old I am. We had in Kissimmee at the time, we had 3 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school.
Wow.
So you pretty much knew everyone else in town at that time. And we were very small community, very, very close knit. I got into leadership in high school. We actually had a leadership class, which it's funny. I was going through some stuff when we moved a few years ago, found one of my report cards. And at one point, the only class I had an A in was leadership class.
Wow. So you really did know you had a passion, or at least an unknown passion or untapped passion.
I did. And I don't think I knew that I did, but somehow I did. I ended up being student council president at our school, which then earned me a scholarship to college that I didn't even apply for. One of my teachers applied for me. So it was a leadership scholarship. And I went to it's now Troy University. It was Troy State University at the time, back in the 80s. And went off to little.
I remember Troy State University.
Yes. If I thought Kissimmee was a small town, moving to Troy, Alabama, and we like to say I went to school in LA, Lower Alabama, and so it was a very small town. So I think it was a great experience. I had always imagined myself going to the University of Tennessee. I have family from Tennessee, from Knoxville. We lived in Knoxville for a while. I always had that goal in mind. And then when this scholarship came across, my mom said, that sounds like a great school. We should check that out. And so we did. And you know what? Honestly, it was the best thing for me. It was the best experience. I had a wonderful time there. So yeah, I just sort of started out on that leadership journey, I think early on, not really intentional, but it just kind of happened that way. And then that led to, I majored in journalism and public relations.
Yeah, because back then, guys, there wasn't a leadership bachelor's, master's, and doctorate that there is now. You had to figure journalism and PR. was definitely one of those paths that you could take if that's what you wanted to
Oh,
do.
exactly. Absolutely. So I had some connections at Disney. I interned in community relations at Disney, which then turned into a full-time job. And I always say it was the best first job to have and the worst first job to have, because everything I did after that, I compared to, the Disney way of doing things. But it also set me on that path again to continue that, to always kind of have those thoughts in the back of my mind is how would we have done this at Disney, the
Yes.
best way possible.
That's because of their training and because they're world renowned for their customer service and their leadership development and their development of students. I mean, sure, that must have been very difficult to go back. They raised the bar for you.
Absolutely. Yes. So
tell me about after Disney. And I think people, you and I both know that Orlando is actually really a small town. You mentioned Kissimmee before, but Orlando itself, I mean, it's not even 6 degrees of separation. We're all 2 or 3 at the max. And I feel like people think it's such a big city, but in reality, we're all connected. It's crazy doing this show for almost 5 years. I'm amazed at the people who I have said to me, oh my God, I know you from the show. I didn't know you knew so-and-so. So it's very tight knit here as far as everyone knowing each other. How did you get involved in Leadership Orlando? What was the journey to that? Because I feel like, I told you before we went live, people really do want to get involved. They want to give back. They want to develop their skills, but they might not know about all of the amazing programs that we offer here in our great city.
Well, once I left Disney, I left the area only because I had met my husband, and he wasn't my husband at the time, and he lived in Michigan. So I left, moved away to Michigan for what I like to call 2 long winters.
And I can't even imagine.
It was kind of, it was eye-opening. I moved up during the summer, so it was kind of a gradual, and then boom, it just hit me. And then it was great at first. I went to work for the Detroit Pistons, and I remember someone coming in one day and saying, "Hey, it's snowing outside." I got so excited. I ran outside. Someone said, "Oh, you must be the girl from Florida." And I think that was like in November, and in May it was still cold, and I kept saying, "Why is it still cold here?" But it was good. It was a great experience. I loved it. I did love having actually a change of scenery and a change of seasons in Michigan. But then we moved back down here, and I went to work for my hometown chamber, the Kissimmee Chamber, and was there for a little while. And again, it's all about the who you know. One of my former colleagues from Disney was at the Orlando Chamber and called me and said, "Hey, why don't you come up here and work with us?" And I had worked on Leadership Osceola when I was at the Kissimmee Chamber and loved the program. It is a wonderful program. And so when I moved up to the Orlando Chamber, which is now 25 years ago.
Wow.
I did. I just celebrated my 25th anniversary on Cinco de Mayo.
Congratulations. That's huge.
So I went up there with the intent of being the event person. I was a director of events when I went up there. And then I kind of slid into the Leadership Orlando program and just never left, never let them take it back from me. So.
Well, here's the thing. I think that, first of all, congratulations on 25 years again. I think that's amazing. It's funny because I tell people that we have a chamber, and a lot of times people don't know, even businesses, even people who have been here. And I'm like, every city has some sort of chamber. Orlando's is just magnificent and always really has been. I have been involved, or at least touched on, our chamber, our Orlando chamber, for a very long time. And I'm just always amazed at how much work that you all do and how much you really do impact everything here, tourism, economics. You're always out there trying to make sure that the city gets the attention that it deserves, and also that our citizens get the things that they need. And so kudos to you guys for that. But Leadership Orlando, let's talk about that. What is that? What is that program? How do people get involved? Kind of give us the background on what what Leadership Orlando actually does for the city and for its citizens.
So Leadership Orlando started in 1975. So we are in our 47th year right now. And we started out just gathering community leaders together. And actually, I'll give you a little history on leadership programs in general. One of the stories that is out there is that there was a group of business and community leaders in Atlanta who once took a trip on a plane. And it's that horrible story that you hear about. There was a plane crash. Many of the community's leaders were on that plane. And at that point, they came together and said, look, we need to start developing leaders for the future. We need to make sure that we're always having groups of leaders out there who are pushing forward. So we need to go for the younger. So, and our organization at Leadership Orlando, that's what we're doing. We're all about relationship building. And when I say networking, I don't really mean the we're all going to happy hour kind of networking. We're talking more relationship building in that sense, but also showing you our region. Leadership Orlando is the only regional program in our area. There are many wonderful leadership programs in our region, but we are the only regional one that covers 7 counties in scope. So
I did not know that.
We do. We don't just focus on Orlando. So we focus on the Central Florida region. We have our participants come from the region. And basically what we're trying to do is give you that 30,000-foot overview of the region, what the issues are, what we need to focus on, and put you in front of the people who you need to hear from regarding those issues. And at the same time, it's an 8-month program. You are with an average, our class size averages about 80 people per class. Our current class actually has 96 in it. And, but you are with those people for 8 months. So you are going to develop relationships that are going to go beyond graduation of Leadership Orlando. So we always say that, at the end of our journey, that's not the end of your leadership experience. We're like sending you out into the world and like, we want you to go and do good things now with what you've learned, whether it's you're finding your passion along the way, or you're just finding the people that you need to connect with to continue your passion, whether it's you on a personal level, professional level, your company. A lot of companies will use us when they have executives move in from out of town because it's a fantastic immersion program. So the fastest way to get your people out and into the community and getting to know people is going through Leadership Orlando.
I think what's fast, you mentioned the relationships. So first of all, and I love that you pointed this out, there's a place and time for happy hours. I understand that. But I feel like people are really hungry, especially after the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. People are very hungry for real connection, real relationships, not just Zoom that we all suffered through for a very long time. It has its place again, but I feel like people really do understand, wow, my relationships got me through the pandemic when everything was shut down. I need to focus more on building those. And I think that people they mistake any kind of group like Leadership Orlando, or whether it be any kind of organizational group that you go to. It's not about the happy hours. It's definitely about meeting new people, expanding your horizons. And then when you do, like you mentioned earlier, there's this ripple effect. It's changing you. It's changing the scope of who you interact with, which is changing for the better our community. And that has such a big global reach. It's Leadership Orlando, but we're really touching the world when we all get together and for a common goal, and that you all are actually exposing them to things Leadership Orlando is, and introducing them to people they may never have met, or if they met, they would have never built a relationship with.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny how during the pandemic things did change a little bit for us. We had just started a class, and they got and what we do the first month is we do an orientation and a team building, and we did that with this class, and then 2 days later the world shut down. So it was very difficult. They just met. we tried doing the Zoom thing, like you said, but everybody was new to Zoom and everybody was doing Zoom for everything. And we just, we tried that at first. It was okay, but it's not who we are. It's not what we do. So we put that class on hold until the beginning of 2021. But also during that time, we hit our milestone. I mean, we were prepping in 2020 to kick off our milestone 100th class. And it couldn't happen. So we did start that class in the spring of 21. And again, 5-6 years ago, as we were looking ahead, we thought it was a great idea. Hey, wouldn't it be fun for our 100th class to have 100 people in 100? And then the pandemic hits and you think, oh, there's no way. But then vaccinations came out.
Yeah.
And it was so timely for us. We had 100 people in class 100. We started in spring of 21 and we met in person successfully. We'd like to knock on wood. We met successfully in person with a class of 100 people. It was amazing. They were fantastic. And subsequently, last month, we just graduated class 101. And with that graduation, we hit another milestone of now over 7,000 graduates in leadership, in our Leadership Orlando programs throughout the past 47 years. So we're moving forward. We have 2 classes per year. We have one that starts in the spring, one that starts in the fall. And the way to get involved is to go online to leadershiporlando.org. We are different from most leadership programs in that we don't have an application and selection process. Our philosophy is we would rather be more inclusive than exclusive. And so basically you go online, you enroll, you pay the fee and you're in. And the only time we tell you can't be in is if the class fills up. And then we say, hey, but there's another one starting in a few months. So we love that we do that. And we do have larger classes than most programs, but it works for us and it's amazing. And it's funny, we'll bring in speakers, or anytime you're out and you post something on social media and you know, our classes obviously are very passionate about and proud about the class that they're in. And then you'll see all of these comments coming in. Oh, I was in class 82, or I was in class 95. So it's a great little, our alumni base is
it's life-changing for anybody who participates.
It is.
I didn't take a leadership track in college, but I was super involved in campus. And I just know that when you get involved and you build those relationships, they're lifetime relationships. And yes, that's great for business, but it's also expands your horizon personally, spiritually, soulfully, human. You become, in my opinion, a better human, a more broad thinking, global thinking human. And so I love the fact that it's 47 years, which I did not know. But I love the fact that they just launched. Tell us, you just opened up for October's class.
Yes, class 103. We just opened enrollment last week. So again, you can go online to leadershiporlando.org, or anyone can, connect with me through my email or through our website to get more information. And I will say, just like you were saying, we can teach you all of the leadership skills in the world, but you can't put a price on social capital. You can't. And it's an amazing thing. And it was very evident during the pandemic when people were, shutting down or losing jobs or moving, and you need to find a job, or you need to get in touch with someone, and somebody's always there to help you out, in whatever it is that you need.
It's a beautiful program. I want you guys are asking me always, how do I get involved like you, Ted? How do I learn more, meet more people? We have an amazing opportunity here in Orlando, a big blessing. And so I want you to go to leadershiporlando.org, check it out. I will post Lisa's email in the comments below. You can reach out to her directly. What a joy to have you on. Thank you so much. It's really an honor. When we reached out, I was like, gosh, I hope she has time. Because I really do believe in the mission of what you do. And I know for a fact that it changes lives, not just the lives of the people here, but the lives of the people that they interact with. And so it's such a beautiful program, and kudos to you guys for 47 years. Thank you for being on the show, Lisa. Go to leadershiporlando.org or reach out to me if you want to learn more. We'll see you guys soon. Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.